Hey guys, it's Chris here from Storybreakers. Welcome to the very first Instagram Live from the Storybreakers Instagram account. As it's the first one, we might just see how this goes. I've already noticed that in this camera anyway, my shirt is flipped inside out. I wonder if that's how you see it on your side. So it's gone live, but we're going to wait just a moment while we get you guys hopping in, and we can actually have somebody to chat to. So, going forward, we're probably going to do a few more of these lives. I'll discuss a little bit more of that in the actual episode, but I also aim to download these episodes and see what they look like on our YouTube account too. So even though it'll be finished up live here, it'll go onto our Instagram story for the rest of the day, and then hopefully I'll see if it's good enough quality, like visually wise, to actually put on YouTube. And if it is the case, then we'll be putting it on there as a playlist, so you can catch any other episode if you just happen not to have the time at this specific moment to check out the episode. Okay, so how are we looking here? All right. So I think we might just kick it off. So, what I wanted to do today was to give you guys some updates on what Storybreakers have been up to and some really exciting news coming up. So if you've been following Storybreakers for a while, you would have probably noticed that today we switched our logo. Like, we freshened it up. We're going into new territory, so I thought it'd be appropriate that we got a new look as well. So first things first, we got a fresh new logo. We still got that typewriter in it because we're all about writing, all about the creative side of things. Next up, you might remember Storybreakers. Sounds like Troy McClure. You may remember me from. You might remember Storybreakers from our podcast. We did about 100 episodes where every single episode we came up with a brand new film idea off the top of our heads, and we gave it away for free. You can still find the back catalog on Podomatic and iTunes. And it's quite evergreen because we weren't criticizing any films that were in the cinema. We were basically rebooting or creating sequels or creating original stories off the top of our heads. So you can check it out there. We don't do that anymore as such. And we also still do the dynamic live readings of unproduced Hollywood blockbusters. So there's going to be one coming up very soon, probably about February or March. We're going to be doing the Commando 2, the unmade Commando 2 script, which eventually became Die Hard. So that's right, like this script where they try to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to come back to play John Matrix. Eventually went through a variety of different drafts, and that's Die Hard as we know it today. So we're still doing that. However, we went into a brand new venture that I'm really excited about. And this venture is publications. So all the experience we've had over the past couple of years building stories on a podcast, we finally decided to put our money and our efforts where our mouth was and actually start producing some books, some children's books, and eventually graphic novels. So I'm here today to show you the very first issue, the very first publication that we're going to be putting out. And it's a children's book that I penned myself. It's called Little Lukey. So this is written by me, Chris Brennan, and illustrated by the envy-inducing illustrator named Jer Hankey. So he did an incredible job with it. Little Lukey is basically a children's book about two parents that discover that their baby has superpowers. And it's not told like a comic book world. This is like real life. What would it be like if your child actually did have superpowers? How would you survive this child who might kill you accidentally any day? So it's all about that. It's all about the fun and the trials and tribulations of raising your baby from year one. I'll give you a little glimpse into the illustrations, perhaps. So it's really cool because we got the official copyright. We slapped a new logo on there as well. He did such an amazing job. So it rhymes, which I'm very pleased with. It's done in a nice comic book format. Kind of the reason we were looking at that was, I know I have a son named Lucas, and I've always wanted to show him the comic books, but when he goes near them, he'll just rip them to shreds. Like they're not durable enough for him yet. But I wanted to show him some of those. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be great to actually produce like your baby's first comic book, basically in children's book format? So this book is perfect for any parents out there that love Marvel comics, DC comics, anybody who like enjoys Spider-Man, Batman, those kind of characters. If you don't have a child, it's a perfect gift that you can provide to somebody who would enjoy that kind of thing. I think for me, like I grew up reading comic books in the 90s, so a lot of the people like me are now becoming parents, and we want to share that experience with our children, but we have to wait for them to grow up a little bit. Not anymore, not with little Lukey. So that's going to be on sale in January, early January 2018. It'll be on Amazon first, and then I'm going to produce a bulk order so I can start going to events like Dublin Comic Con and various other shows and events, so you can purchase it there. But first things first, I wanted to get it online on Amazon so anybody can order it from anywhere around the world. So excellent, thank you so much. Next up, we also have a pretty cool announcement regarding the podcast itself. If you were listeners before, you would have realized this year we took a extended hiatus. Mainly, we kind of did enough of that type of format and that type of podcast, and I really wanted to actually start writing my own material. So I created this little Lukey book, and also in 2018, there's going to be a couple of more books to be coming out. The plan is to get 2 more children's books and our very first graphic novel produced. So we'll keep you more informed as the days, weeks, and months go by for that. But that was kind of the reasoning behind taking the back step for the podcast. It was just taking up more time than it needed to in order to produce it. Like, we loved sitting down and recording it, but it was the organizing people into the room, recording it, downloading it, uploading it, marketing it. It just, that side of things kind of took away from all of my chances of actually writing. So that being said, I had a brand new idea, and I wanted to share it with you, that we're actually going to trial a very new Storybreakers game live on Instagram starting next week. If you didn't know, on Instagram, you can actually do split screen with other Instagram accounts. So we're going to have some fun on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I'm going to invite Curved Comedy's own writer-director Connor Dowling to join me on Instagram Live as we build a Christmas story from scratch, which in Storybreakers philosophy, if you like it, it's yours. You can have it. So it's going to be really exciting. We're going to be using Instagram Live. You can check us out at Storybreakers right here, and we'll see how it goes. So in usual live formats, it would be live at 1 p.m., and it probably will go to like 1:30 or so. We'll see how it goes. And then it'll be readily available for the rest of that day. After that, it's gone forever. But like I highlighted earlier with this video, I might test it out and see what it looks like on YouTube, just in case you weren't able to catch it live or weren't able to catch it on Wednesday. Potentially, there might be a chance that you can catch it later on. But we're going to see how it looks first. I refuse to put out inferior quality content. It's just not part of the Storybreakers ethos. So those are the main highlights for your new Storybreakers platform. Finally, as well, you would have seen, maybe if you dig through our posts, when I was at Inbound Marketing in Boston this year, I took a lot of photographs and I was given a lot of marketing tips for indie writers, authors, screenwriters, this kind of thing. That's a really big, important, passionate thing that I want to provide on this channel as well. Like, if you didn't know, my day job is actually content marketing, so I spend all day coming up with unique, innovative ideas to organize a tailored audience to come to us and enjoy the content of my job, of the company I work for. But that being said, I end up trying to put a lot of what I learned to practice in my writing career as well. And I wanted to provide some of that information for you guys, because a lot of times I think that's the downfall for a lot of authors, a lot of writers, especially the non-agent indie type. If you're listening to this, you don't have an agent, you're really trying to push, but you're not really getting anywhere, then I think our account can help you starting now and into next year as well. So I want to start giving some real practical ideas, tips, and tricks to actually get your material seen by the right person so it can get made and you can get paid. I'm so pleased that rhymed. So that's the plan. Again, we're going to take it little bit by little bit and see what happens, see what we like, see what we don't like. If you have any questions in regards to, say, writer marketing, I'd love to know, and I can answer them on Instagram as well. So if it's something like how to construct your log line, to how do you get people to read your material, things like this. Because a lot of times that's actually the biggest issue. The biggest barrier we have isn't the fact that we can build the material, it's actually getting somebody to care about that material. And usually, in my experience, when I meet other writers, what they try to do is they just go all in on themselves. So they just hop in and say, hey, read this. And then, of course, the other person doesn't, because that writer never really gave them a clear incentive or motivation to do it other than do me a favor. And we are kind of busy these days, so favors are really hard to come by. So I want to help you guys out in order to get your stuff seen by the right people so you can get paid, it can get made, and you can move forward with your career and get the career you've always wanted to in your writing. So I think that might wrap it up for this announcement. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I might be coming back with more in the future. Definitely check out Instagram Live on the Storybreakers account next Wednesday at 1 p.m. when we're going to do a Storybreakers game live with Connor Dowling, and we're going to build a Christmas story from scratch off the top of our heads. And if you like it, you can have it for free. And also, keep an eye out for the Little Lukey children's book that will be coming out soon in January. There's a website available. It's www.lululukey.com. And you can actually sign up to a waiting list. So whenever the book is available, I can send it to you so you can buy it right there and then. The Tiny Tot of Justice is coming, and he'll be here in 2018. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this is the first of many times. We're going to have some fun together in 2018, I promise. And I will come back to you with more news about Commando 2. Now, we've done 10 blockbuster unproduced Hollywood scripts, like from Kevin Smith's Superman to J.J. Abrams' Superman to George Miller's Justice League to unproduced Star Trek episodes, things like this. The unmade Indiana Jones, the unused Alien 3 script for the Wooden Planet. I have to say, when I read this Commando 2 script, it was probably the funnest script I've seen so far. It's quintessential 80s. Like, it's so hokey, cheesy, and amazing. Like, everything you loved about those goofy 80s action films is contained in this script, and I absolutely can't wait to bring that to the stage, provide you with an insight into what it would have been like if Schwarzenegger said yes to Commando 2. Okay, guys, my name's Chris Brennan. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see you later, and best of luck with your projects. Bye-bye.